Week 9 of the MHSA season, no better place to be than right here on Macomb Township Government Access. Hello again, everybody. I'm Brad Fetters, welcoming you inside the press box here at L'Anse Creuse North High School as we get set to call the action between the L'Anse Creuse North Crusaders and the Dakota Cougars. Playoff implications here tonight. For one team, the Dakota Cougars desperately need a victory here to pick up their 5th win of the season to improve their overall record to 5-4. They're on the outside looking in the playoff picture, desperately need that victory here tonight and going to need a little bit of help as well, as they will not automatically qualify for the playoffs. As for L'Anse Creuse North coming in with that record of 3-5, well, they're looking to play the role of spoiler here tonight. It's been a while since they beat Dakota, and it would feel extra special here in front of their hometown fans. So Dakota won the opening toss. They elected to receive this first kickoff of the game, and it's a short one. Fielded at the 18, carried upfield to the 40, out to midfield, one man to beat, unable to do that. As big number 81, Carter Tim, the kicker, brought down the return man, Trevor Duff. But it'll be plus territory for the Cougars to start things out, as they will have their opening possession of this football game from the L'Anse Creuse North 39. An explosive play on the very first kickoff of the game. And we'll welcome the Dakota Cougar offense out onto the field. The Cougar offense, it has scored over 200 points on the season. They average just over 25 points per game. And it'll be junior signal caller Zach Drosky as he takes the low snap, quickly flings one out to Matt Love, one of his favorite targets on the outside. Matt Love, a terrific player on both sides of the football. He'll be involved on defense as well, as he is kind of a ball hawk out there in the secondary for the Cougars. Really a reliable target for the quarterback, Zach Drosky. So the very first play of the football game picks up 6 yards. It'll be a 2nd down, 4 to go for the Cougar offense. Operating once again out of the shotgun. It's a good snap. Quickly hands and turns off to number 24, Caden Sloan. It's the left side out to the hash marks, where he's finally brought down just over the 25-yard line. Carry's good enough for a 1st down. The ball would be marked at the 24-yard line. 1st and 10 rather for the Cougars. Sloan, the tailback, once again directly behind Drosky, as he'll turn and hand off, spin move, picks up a couple, nothing more, chopped down right around the 23-yard line. So heavy doses of Caden Sloan so far. Bring up a 2nd down, 8 to go. Cougars taking their time, breaking the huddle. Two wide receiver to Drosky's left. Another low snap. He's able to get it up. He fakes the throw to his left and is going to scramble. And he might have got tripped up by one of his own offensive linemen. So the play will go as a sack, as Drosky goes down at the 28-yard line, and this will bring up a 3rd and long. It'll be a 3rd and 14. The line of scrimmage is the 28. The line to gain is the 14. If you watched any of our coverage last week, and Dakota's lost 21-7 to Eisenhower, it's a Dakota team that's really willing to run some gadget plays, some trickery. We saw Stepney, the running back, out of the Wildcat. We also seen Stepney throw a pass that was eventually intercepted. And this time they roll out to the right. Drosky's going to be intercepted. There is a flag on the play. It'll go down as Drosky's 10th interception of the season. As I mentioned, there is a flag on the play. Official is going to come together. Illegal receiver downfield. That penalty will be declined. So, in fact, it will be Drosky's 10th interception of the season. And the Cougars' 14th turnover on the season. Really, that has been the bugaboo for the Cougars all season long, is turnovers. As they are now a -3 on the season, have only caused 11 turnovers while giving up 14. The team total now of 11 interceptions, and that's exactly what LCN needed to pull the upset here tonight. They needed to cause some chaos defensively, turn the Cougars over, and that's exactly what they did on their very first defensive possession. So it'll be Justin Zamansky, the senior quarterback now for LCN. Well, it's going to actually be looking for the seam. Pass intended for David Gatine. Zamansky, number 2, shows up on our roster as number 12. You know Zamansky is that southpaw signal caller for LCN. Coming with a 3-5 record. And they really kind of a Jekyll and Hyde team, especially offensively. In their 3 victories this season, they've scored 115 points while giving up 0. That's right. They have 3 shutout victories on the season. Their 5 losses, they've only scored 69 points while giving up 200. So you're looking for some of that offensive production. 38 points per game in their 3 victories while only scoring just over 17 per game in their 5 losses. So a 3rd down, 7 to go. Zamansky in the shotgun, barks out the signals. There's Kyle Turner in the flats, but instead finds an open receiver, Xavion Smith. Smith, those pink long sleeves for breast cancer awareness, along with the ankle tape. He's a big target out there for Zamansky. We'll call Smith's name quite a bit. He's going to line up in the slot this time. Zamansky's right. Kyle Turner will be the lone setback out of the pistol. They'll go to Turner, right side, looking for the edge. Not going to get it. Terrific tackle made by Camden Orlando. Orlando, definitely the Cougars' best defender along that defensive line. He's a good one. He wears 33 in white. We'll be calling his name quite a bit here tonight. He's kind of a linebacking hybrid. He'll also occasionally move up and play a little defensive line, I would think, at some point here tonight as well. But right in the middle linebacker right now in this 4-3 look as they shift. And here comes Orlando on the right side of that defense. He's going to bring the blitz. Zamansky flings it out there. A little bit of confusion as 2 wide receivers were in the vicinity of that football. But it'll be number 10, Anthony Petrucci, who comes up with the catch. Logan Simons was out there as well. They only pick up a couple, so it'll bring up a 3rd and 8. The line to gain is the 44. Trips to Zamansky's right. 1 lone wide receiver at the very bottom of your screen. Zamansky looking out towards the right, floats one up. He's got a receiver open, and now it's off to the foot races. Looking behind him, changing direction now is Xavion Smith inside the 10 down to the 6. Big play capabilities there from Smith, from Zamansky. A terrific catch, wide open. Smith made 1 defender miss and gets finally brought down inside the 10. It'll be Trevor Duff, the Cougar, that eventually brought down Smith. So it looked like a pretty harmless play, but Xavion Smith turned on the Jets, made 1 defender miss, and has LCN knocking on the door now. Zamansky gets knocked down as Carey goes up the middle. So we'll bring up a 2nd down, goal to go from the 6. LCN once again going to spread it out. 3 wide receivers to Zamansky's right. And they're going to keep it this time. Zamansky stretches out. Touchdown, LCN. big start to this football game for the Crusaders. They come up with a big interception on defense and turn it into points with 6:21 remaining in the first quarter. LCN out in front, 6-0. So a terrific keeper that time by Zemansky. Mesh point comes together there with the running back Kyle Turner, and Zemansky decides to keep it himself. The extra point is blocked, and it's going to be kicked forward, and the play will be dead. So the score will remain 6-0. So they get the big play through the air. Xavion Smith gets it inside the 10, and then Zemansky able to wheel it in, using off his legs. As head coach Pat Daly firing up those troops on this near sideline as they have come in here on their home turf and have taken an early 6-0 lead. Good of a start as you could ask for here in front of your home fans, getting the faithful in attendance fired up here on senior night, honoring the seniors not only on the football team but on the cheer team and the dance team as well. A little pregame ceremony. So Carter Tim to kick it away. We'll see what they elect to do here. If you remember correctly, in the very first kick return of the game, it was a good one. Once again, another very short kick. One of the up men for Dakota. Andrew Alexander is going to take it up to the 35, but no more. Good coverage on special teams. That's where the Cougars will put the ball in play, the 35-yard line. Second drive of the game for the Cougar offense. First drive resulted in Drosky's 10th interception of the season. He's averaging 112 yards per game, 19 yards per completion. Thrown for 785 yards on the season, 6 touchdowns with a long pass of 81 yards. So we didn't see much of their terrific running back, Javion Stepney, on that first drive. Stepney, the junior tailback, getting a lot of Division I looks and offers. Had a Penn State visit a weekend ago. Looking for a properly inflated football, it appears. They'll bring one in from the LCN sideline. Stepney, just really explosive. He's rushed for 843 yards, which is 105 yards per game at nearly an 8-yard clip. So an explosive tailback. It'll be Uko Umame up to the 36. Uko Umana. Inside LCN territory, so terrific run there for Umana. Zach Drosky going to bring in the play from that far sideline. Looks down at his wristband. It contains all the signals. They break the huddle. Umana going to stay in at that tailback position just to Drosky's right. 2 wideouts to Drosky's left, and he hands off to Umana. Runs up through that defensive line, but stopped by number 56, Darius Love. Check that, it's Connor Miskovich, number 56, with the tackle. Bring up a 2nd down and 5. Caden Sloan, one of the tailbacks now in the slot, a very bunch formation. Sloan's going to take it on the jet sweep, looking for the edge on the left-hand side. He's got enough for a 1st down as he carries a defender all the way up to about the 23. Julian Guezdala, the linebacker, making the stop. So this is that Cougar offense, that spread option attack that can really give you multiple looks. They're not afraid to really open up the playbook. We saw a jet sweep there. We saw a tailback pass a week ago on a double pass, as it was. Umana get the share of the load here. As it's going to be Umana picking his spot. He hits the hole hard inside the 10, the 5, looking for the pylon. Did he get in? He sure did. Touchdown, Cougars from 23 yards out. It's Uko Umana, the junior running back. And with 4:07 now remaining in the 1st quarter of play, the score is now tied 6-6. Umana hitting that hole hard, got into the secondary, and wasn't going to be caught as he took a terrific line to the pylon and was able to sneak the football in as the Cougars look to add on the extra point. Snap is good, the kick is up, and it is good as well. So the Cougars now, really impressive drive on the ground, lead it 7-6. Umana's 3rd touchdown of the season. Came in with 38 carries for 229, an average of 6 yards per carry, 76 yards per game with a season long of 34. Also has a 100-yard game, so Umana, junior, really going to be a force back there, along with some ball carriers that are all underclassmen. You look at Caden Sloan, only a sophomore. Javion Stepney, we talked about. Haven't seen him yet this evening, but he's only a junior. So that group of tailbacks could be something special next season for the Cougars. And they'll also have Drosky back next year as their quarterback. He too will be a senior next season. So this is a group offensively that was extremely young this season. They took their lumps. We mentioned they come into play with that 4-4 record. Lost 2 straight coming into play here tonight. Both MAC Red games. A 21-7 loss a week ago. Both of those games were home games. They also lost to Romeo 2 weeks ago, 36-7. As this kickoff will sail over the goal line for the automatic touchback. So a 2-3 record in league play. Their 2 lone MAC Red victories on the season were to Anchor Bay, Sterling Heights, Stevenson. They finished out league play with 3 straight losses over Chippewa Valley, Romeo, and Eisenhower. Close loss to Chippewa Valley, that 27-21 victory for the Big Reds, as Chippewa Valley would go on to complete another perfect season within league play as they just continue to steamroll opponents and will carry the most playoff points into the playoffs next week. As there's a terrific sack by the Cougars. Mirror images of one another. 95, Rice Reno, and number 59, Dan Chowdhury, making the sack. So a loss of 10 on the sack will bring up a 2nd down, 20 to go. So much more difficult start to the 2nd drive for the Crusaders. A little bit of confusion as the Cougars change things up on that front 4. And the handoff will go straight to number 4 this time. A little bit of a late hit, perhaps, as Julian Guizdala got drilled out of bounds, and we will have, well, I thought it was a flag, but it was Guizdala losing a towel. David McFadden in pursuit for Dakota. Healthy pickup there for Guizdala as he picked up 9. It'll bring up a 3rd and 11. So a little bit of a more manageable distance on the pickup of 9 as Zemansky gets flushed out of the pocket. He throws one low. The Cougars say incomplete. The official says it was good. Good clean catch by Anthony Petrucci. And it's good enough for another Crusader first down. So really well thrown ball there by Zemansky on the run. As he got flushed out of the pocket, ran to his left and delivered really a nice catchable ball for his senior wide receiver. This time they'll hand off. Guizdala off to the right-hand side and gets set down right at the line of scrimmage. Good pursuit that time, once again, by Camden Orlando. Orlando, such a difference maker on that Dakota defensive side of the ball. Orlando leading the team in tackles coming into play here tonight with 41 solo tackles, 22 assists. That's nearly 8 tackles per game, and he has 3 tackles for a loss. The pass is no good. Intended receiver that time was Xavion Smith. Bring up a 3rd and 9 from the LCN 35. Dakota showing a little bit of pressure. That's Camden Orlando once again. And here he comes on the blitz. Good pickup there by the LCN offensive line. Another low pass, incomplete. Looking for David Gatine. And LCN will have to punt the football away. Be Matt Love and Caden Sloan deep for the Cougars. They're back at their 30. And it's an end-over-end kick that's going to bounce out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. So good field position here to start out the 3rd drive of the game for the Cougars. They lead at 7-6. Difference right now, that missed extra point by LCN. So we mentioned Dakota coming in, losers of 2 straight. It's kind of been the same story for LCN as they come in losers of 3 straight, including dropping a contest last week on the road 32-21 to Utica. Lost 4 of their last 5. Their last victory came over Cousino 33-0. That was all the way back in late September. So it's been nearly a month since LCN picked up a win. Really just playing the role of spoilers here tonight. They have no shot of making the playoffs with that 3-5 record. So another nice pickup there on first down as Dakota continues to ride Uko Umane. The lone tailback once again. Drosky turns, hands off, right up the hash marks. Bounces up past the 35 to the 34. So 4-yard pickup on first down will bring up a 2nd down and 6. 1:25 now remaining in the first quarter. Cougars out in front 7-6. Drosky gets the play in from the sidelines. Takes their time. Will finally break the huddle. Clinton Robertson at the very top of the formation. He's a dangerous playmaker. Instead, they'll pitch it this time to Mana up to the 31, but nothing more. Miskovich in on the tackle for the Crusaders. So it'll bring up a 3rd down and 3. Drosky out of the shotgun. Make sure his wideouts are properly placed. LCN bringing some pressure. They jumped a little early, and they're going to get the call. Wow. That hard count by Drosky got LCN to bite. They jumped offside, so it'll be a 5-yard walk-off penalty, and it'll give Dakota the yardage necessary for a 1st down. So 3 yards there on the penalty gives the Cougars the 1st down. Line of scrimmage now will be the 26. 15 seconds remaining in the opening quarter of play. Send a man in motion. That's Robertson. Robertson looks back. He's in the slot now. LCN shifts up front. Drosky will hand off, looking for a lane to run through. Nothing available to him as he's bottled up by Thomas Esch. And that will do it for the first 12 minutes of play. It's the guests, the Dakota Cougars, that have come in and have claimed the lead. They lead at 7-6. We'll take a brief timeout here on Macomb Township Government Access, but when we come back, the start of the 2nd quarter of play.
Hi, I'm Jordan Peele. I'm usually trying way too hard to be funny. Well, right now I'm going to be completely serious with you. Online bullying is a toxic side effect of modern technology. No one's immune to it. Not you, not me, nobody. But there's a way we can fix it. This emoji in the symbol section of your phone's emoji keyboard. Use it when you see bullying online to say, I see what you're doing, not cool, definitely not funny. And I know what funny is. I coined the phrase wordness to the turdness. So join me and become a witness. When you see bullying online, use this emoji to do something. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org.
Nearly set for the 2nd quarter of play here from L'Anse Creuse North High School. Brad Fetters from Macomb Township Government Access, and it's the Dakota Cougars on the move. They got 2nd down and 9 from the 25-yard line to start the 2nd quarter of play. Heavy dose of the ground game here through 3 offensive possessions for Dakota. They opened up the game, the very first drive of the game, with an interception. And since that Drosky turnover, as I mentioned, a heavy dose of the running game, including number 25, Uko Umana. Umana really kind of that thunder back there for the Cougars as he picked up that last 1st down. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line. Mentioned the Drosky interception. LCN took that turnover and took it right down the length of the football field, scoring the game's opening touchdown. They missed the extra point, however. As it'll be Umana again. Hurdles a would-be tackler. Gets it inside the 5-yard line. So LCN took the early 6-0 lead after missing the extra point. Dakota answered right back with a touchdown of their own. On the ground, it was Uko Umana, the junior running back, that scored it for the Cougars. They were able to knock their extra point through. And that's how we have a 7-6 lead for Dakota, who's looking to add on 6 more. It'll be Umana again, right to Drosky's right. They'll send a man in motion. It'll be Matt Love. And it'll be number 24, Caden Sloan, right up the middle for the Dakota touchdown, making it look easy as the LCN defensive line opened up. Dakota offensive line opening that hole for Sloan to run through. And the Cougars now, with back-to-back touchdown drives, have taken a 13-6 lead with 10:39 remaining in the 2nd quarter of play. So we've seen this quite a bit out of the Cougars special teams a week ago. This kind of swinging gate field goal formation. Sporofsky will be the kicker. High snap, getting it down. Sporofsky's kick is not going to count because there was a penalty flag on the play. It looked like LCN might have jumped a little early. And in fact will be the call. Offside penalty against LCN. And now they're going to change the call to a false start. So they'll move this extra point back the 5 yards. So all of a sudden this becomes a 25-yard extra point. So the initial call was offside. They switched it to a false start. So this kick's going to be a little bit more difficult now for Sprofsky. And the kick is up. The kick is through. And with 10:39 remaining, Cougars now have an 8-point lead, 14-6. So 2 rushing touchdowns now for the Cougars. They weathered that storm that LCN created by taking the early 6-0 lead. They answer right back with 14 straight. And now lead at 14-6. Pat Daly, the LCN offense coming together. Daly in his first year as a head coach here at LCN, and really he's a lot of fun. I was able to talk to him prior to the homecoming game against Eisenhower, and he's a teacher in the Warren Consolidated Schools District and been a part of this program here at LCN as a coordinator in the past, and getting the opportunity now as the head coach. I mentioned in their victories, they've done a lot of good as they have those 3 shutout wins. And you just knew that these 2 MAC red-white crossover games against Eisenhower and Dakota would be difficult. So picking up valuable victories in the early part of their schedule is so important, and really they were just unable to do it within league play. As LCN finished 1-4 in league play, their only league victory was over Grosse Pointe North. Grosse Pointe South, another perfect season within league play. You just kind of wonder at some point if they're going to earn the promotion up to the MAC Red. Grosse Pointe South just continues to pick up white division title after white division title. Kick goes deep, and they're going to say the knee was down. Oh, what a crucial mistake there. That was Isaiah Fambro, the junior running back, fielding that kick and put his knee down at about the 2-yard line. So LCN offensively is going to start in the shadows of their goalposts here. Tough break for LCN special teams, and LCN offensively watching the Cougars take the lead. This is a tough situation now for Zemansky and the rest of this LCN squad. Zemansky in the shotgun, gonna flip one out into the flats. Kyle Turner, his running back, gets met right at the 10-yard line by David McFadden. McFadden driving him down to the ground. So a pickup of about 4. He'll bring up a 2nd down and 6. They actually spotted the kick return at about the 5. Now Turner now looking for the edge, looking for a block on the outside. Got it momentarily as he worked his way just short of the 15. They'll say he finally stepped out of bounds at about the 13. So they'll bring up a 3rd down and 2. Nice pickup there on 2nd down, makes this 3rd down play a little bit more manageable. Kyle Turner checks out. Julian Guizdala, a little bit of a heavier running back in the backfield now, and Zemansky gonna fake and take it himself, and I don't think he got it. It'll all depend on the spot. From my vantage point here, high atop the LCN's bleachers, I don't think he got it, and well, they will give him the 15-yard line. Wow. Line judge gave him the line to gain, so they'll move the chains. 1st down and 10 now from the 15. Guizdala's going to stay in. Dawson split now in the slot. 4 wide receivers set. Zemansky walks off to the left. And oh, somehow coming up with the reception is Dawson split. Nope, that's David Gatine, who reached up and snagged that over top of the defender. An unbelievable catch right in the middle of the field. Zemansky so good on the run. LCN now a little bit of a hurry-up offense. They quickly get to the line of scrimmage. Guizdala gets it back to the line of scrimmage and no more, but what a catch by David Gatine to go up and over that defender to haul in the Zemansky pass. Talk about a highlight reel catch. So Guizdala picks up a couple. They'll bring up a 2nd down and 8. Approaching the 8.5-minute mark of the 2nd quarter. Guizdala again. He's going to scramble, steps up into the pocket. He's going to have to run now and just got back to the line of scrimmage. A little bit of a broken play as the offensive line could not hold back the Cougar charge there as Dakota brought all kinds of pressure. That was a designed pass play. Nothing was available for Zemansky. So bring up a 3rd down and 7 to go. Guizdala remaining in the game at the tailback position. Kyle Turner, the starting running back, in the slot for LCN. David Gatine at the very bottom of the formation. It'll be Anthony Petrucci at the top. 4 wide receiver set. Guizdala 3-step drop. Hits his receiver, number 10. Petrucci again across the middle. But the pass will be a yard short. Ball will be marked at the 45. The landing gain was the 46, so decision time here for LCN. And it doesn't look like much of a decision as they quickly leave their offense out on the football field. They got to pick up 1 yard here. And it's going to be a 5 wide receiver set, and finally we're going to get a timeout called by the LCN sideline. Crusaders going to want to talk things over with 7:20 left in the first half of play. Cougars leading it 14-6. Big point of this first half. I mentioned LCN needing 1 yard to keep this drive alive, and came out with that 5 wide receiver set, and finally calling timeout. We're going to talk things over, and we'll see how aggressive they are. As you can see, right in the middle of that huddle, their quarterback, Justin Zemansky, very animated. We know he has terrific wheels out of that cornerback position, so you wonder if they'll come out with some sort of spread look and just have a QB draw. There's no sense in maybe risking putting this ball in the air. Both teams now have taken the field. Dakota comes out with a 4-diamond look, only 2 linebackers. And Zemansky will do just that, and he's not going to get it. He stood up at the 45, and that's it, no more. So LCN did, in fact, spread them out with 5 wide receivers, and Zemansky was looking to keep it himself on the QB draw, and he's pleading his case, and he is a full yard short. So it'll be a turnover on downs there for LCN. I don't even know why they're keeping the offense on the field, as we'll finally get the signal from the head referee, and in fact it will be a turnover on downs. So LCN needed a yard and couldn't get it. So the Cougars now will take over with plus territory. They'll take over on the LCN 45, and some frustration now out of the Crusader sideline. Anthony Petrucci came over, slammed his helmet down to the field turf. Disappointed in the offense. Zemansky Looking for a little bit of a bigger push out of his offensive line. Now the Cougars looking for the big play off the turnover on downs, and they're going to get it. It's going to be a pitch and catch touchdown. Zach Drosky to Matt Love, 45 yards on the touchdown reception. And the Cougars have grasped a hold of this football game. They got a stranglehold on it now. They went for the home run ball after the turnover on downs and got it. A perfectly thrown pass by Drosky, his 7th touchdown pass of the season. And Matt Love with the easy reception, his 3rd touchdown catch of the year. And the Cougars now, with 7:03 remaining in the first half, lead it 21-6. So a huge turning point in this football game. LCN goes for it on 4th down, needing only a yard, cannot pick it up. Dakota takes over after the turnover on downs, and one play later find pay dirt from 45 yards out. Drosky to Love. And the Cougars out in front, desperately needing a victory here tonight to try to secure a spot in the MHSA playoffs, lead at 21-6. So kind of try to make sense of the playoff picture throughout tonight's broadcast. Unfortunately, there's a little bit of math involved. 256 teams qualifying across 8 separate divisions in the MHSAA. Automatically qualify with 6 victories. This Cougar team, best they can do is 5, and then you're worried about playoff points. Selection Sunday, 2 days away, and Cougars might have to play the waiting game here tonight if they are able to come away with a victory. They'd all be eliminated with a loss here tonight. There's no way they're getting in with only 4 wins, so they have to get to 5 and then keep their fingers crossed. And we'll kind of go through some of the scenarios that could play out and some of the things that do need to play out. There's another really nice special teams play made by the Cougars. Trayvon Biddle in on the stop for the Cougars. So LCN will start on the right hash, the 17-yard line. Pat Daly really bringing a lot of the offensive looks from the previous staff here at LCN. They really haven't remodeled the playbook, and we kind of wondered in the preseason if LCN was going to go to a little bit more of a pound and ground type of style of play and just kind of try to wear out some teams, and it really hasn't been the case. You've seen a lot of spread out of this Crusader team. We really saw it a lot on that last drive that saw the QB keeper, Zemansky, trying to get that 1 yard. You're not going to see that really bunched formations anymore in the game of football, and the fullback and the tailback. You're just going to kind of spread it out and really rely on an athletic quarterback, and that's what Zemansky is. He's really shown flashes of brilliance on the run here tonight. This time he's going to keep it. Gets it up to the 20, out to the 25. Finally drilled out of bounds just short of the 30. So Zemansky able to stay on his feet. He's got enough, pretty close to a first down. They're going to spot him just short. So it'll bring up another 3rd and 1 situation with 6:13 left as he got finally ushered out of bounds to stop the clock. And this Cougar penetration through that offensive line, so good this evening. As Guizdalo took the handoff that time and lost a yard. And with a 4th and 2 from the 25-yard line, LCN is going to have to punt this football away. So that penetration and push by the Dakota defensive line that time allowed for them to make the stop in short yardage situation, and LCN's going to have to kick this ball away. It'll be Matt Love and Caden Sloan once again deep for Dakota. They're right about their own 45. It's a low line driving kick, and it's going to be Caden Sloan to field it at the 50. Turns up to the 40, somehow stays on his feet. Up to the 20, the 15, the 10, and finally pushed out of bounds by the punter. The touchdown saving tackle made by Carter Tim. Boy, they're going to have to kick the ball away from these talented return men here at Dakota. Caden Sloan and Matt Love, that time it was Sloan, was able to catch that line driving punt using all that forward momentum, stayed on his feet through a spin move, and finally gets hauled down by the punter, Carter Tim. Tim has made a couple touchdown saving tackles here, but once again, it's the Dakota Cougars knocking on the door. The ball spotted at the 3-yard line with 5:38 now left to go in the second quarter of play. And LCN defensively having to spend a timeout. They only had 10 players on the field. That's why LCN had to burn a timeout there. Well, this Cougar offense, good enough. Don't need to shorthand yourself, so LCN takes the timeout. We'll run 11 players now out onto the field. So good heads-up timeout called by the coaching staff for LCN. David Gatteen, number 9, the player that will take a spot on the football field. That was that quick exchange. He had the big kick, punt return. Really didn't give the LCN defense a lot of time to get on the field. As we know, depth is not an issue at Dakota, but for LCN, you got guys playing both sides of the football. So that quick exchange there from offense to defense kind of confused LCN, and they had to burn the timeout. Caden Sloan now. Out of the Wildcat, and that's too easy. He takes the direct snap out of the Wildcat and walks it in untouched. Jersey clean that time from 3 yards out, and with 5:32 left to go in the first half of play, it's all Cougars as they now lead at 27-6. Sloan's second rushing touchdown of the season. Second rushing touchdown of the game, rather. 7th of the season. High snap, getting it down. Terrific hold by Love. Sporofsky rips it right through the uprights. And after the extra point, it is now 28-6. And panic time now perhaps for LCN. We mentioned 256 teams will make the playoffs. 169 have already qualified, so that leaves you with 87 spots left. 60 teams across the state of Michigan need one victory to automatically qualify. So if you, just for the sake of argument, give all 60 teams those 6 wins, it really kind of just gives you a wiggle room of about 27 open spots. You could roughly say maybe closer to probably 30, 35 open spots for teams with 5 victories. The MAC schools, besides Dakota, that are still looking to get in. And these are teams that just need one more victory to automatically qualify. That includes Sterling Heights, L'Anse Creuse, East Point, Clawson, Clintondale, Marysville, and Port Huron. So the Macomb Area Conference, once again, seemingly as always, going to produce a whole bunch of playoff teams. Out of the MAC Red, you got Chippewa Valley, of course, with that perfect 8-0 record. They play Utica tonight in their crossover game. Eisenhower automatically qualified, as did Romeo. So Dakota and Stevenson, it's kind of an interesting thought. Both teams coming into tonight with identical 4-4 records. And it's Stevenson that has more playoff points right now. They have roughly 6 more playoff points. And Sterling Heights Stevenson has beat 2 playoff qualifiers, Temperance Bedford in their season opener, as well as St. Clair Shores Lakeview. And Dakota is yet to beat a playoff team, and with LCN failing to qualify, Dakota will go the entire season without beating a playoff team. So Dakota's victories this year were technically not as impressive as Stevenson. So Stevenson, with that identical 4-4 record to Dakota, has a leg up in terms of 2 teams that could finish the season 5-4. Who do you give the edge to in terms of who would make the playoffs? Well, you would give it to Stevenson, as they have a really tough matchup tonight against a really good MAC White team in Warren Mott. As there's a nice throw to the far sideline, staying in bounds somehow is Anthony Petrucci, as he gets enough for the first down, moves the chains. So Stevenson gonna have to beat a Warren Mott team playing out of the MAC White this year that comes into tonight's game with a 6-2 record. So that's gonna be a tough game for Stevenson. No gimme for Stevenson tonight. Good hard run by Kyle Turner. And this is kind of what we saw this LCN team the last time we broadcast one of their games. That was that homecoming game against Eisenhower that saw LCN score 30 points against a really good Eisenhower defense. An Eisenhower defense that's really only giving up about 13 points per game. So LCN with those 30 points. Had to be pretty close to the most points scored on Eisenhower this season. So LCN able, as we get a little bit of a flea flicker now, all kinds of pressure, floating one out and overthrowing everybody. It's a little bit of a trick play there for LCN on the flea flicker, taking a page out of the Lions playbook from that opening play against Green Bay. So it'll bring up a 3rd and 3 from the Dakota 46. So the teams with 4-4 records that have more playoff points right now than Dakota's, they send all kinds of pressure, and a nice slant route run by number 9, David Gatine, up to about the 32. So we mentioned teams that have 4 victories, the same as Dakota right now, that has more playoff points, includes Detroit Catholic Central. We mentioned Sterling Heights Stevenson, Grand Haven, and Cass Tech all have more playoff points right now than Dakota, teams that have 4-4 records. So if you're talking about, you know, maybe a handful of spots, Dakota might be on the outside looking in, really having to take care of business here tonight. Another little quick route. Kyle Turner on the reception. That'll be good enough for another first down. So LCN driving once again. Unfortunately for them here this evening, they've been unable to finish drives as we approach 3 minutes now remaining in the first half of play. Another little screen this time, a little tunnel screen for David Gatine, and Dakota really had that play sniffed out. Cougar player down. You wonder if maybe he got piled up on from the backside. That's Jack Murray down for Dakota. And he looks to be in all kinds of pain. So Dakota will bring out its athletic training staff. As they tend to him, why don't we take a break here? Macomb Township Government Access, 2:53 remaining in the second quarter of play. Cougars out in front 28-6. LCN on the move.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
And there you can see a fairly good sign. Jack Murray, the injured Cougar, able to walk off under his own power. You can clearly see he's hobbling. Football helmet is off. We'll see if he's able to come back in this football game at some point. LCN with the football. 19-yard line, trailing 28-6. Clock running now, just under 3 minutes remaining in the first half of play. Little RPO that time, looking for a receiver across the middle, a drag route. Xavion Smith reached out, tried to one-hand it. Pass incomplete, so it'll bring up a 3rd and 8. So we talked about it throughout this drive. LCN has put up some numbers. They've rattled off some nice looking plays, but they have really yet to complete a drive. Dakota bringing all kinds of pressure. Zemansky nowhere to go, just looking to keep the play alive, stretches out and gets back to the line of scrimmage. Boy, that Dakota defensive line got through once again. They've been so good on those short yardage situations, stoning the LCN rush attack, but have really put the pressure on Zemansky as well. Clock continues to tick down, under 2:10 now left to go. Another 4th down situation for LCN. Have to pick up about 8 yards. Here comes Dakota already in the backfield. Zemansky keeping the play alive once again somehow, and finally brought down at about the 14, and he will be 3 yards short. So once again, LCN will turn it over on downs, giving the Cougar offense the football back with 1:59 left to go in the first half. Dakota scoring on their last 4 offensive possessions. Helping Zach Drosky out at the quarterback position. Caden Sloan is his running back. Sloan already 2 touchdown runs in this game, and Drosky is going to float one out to Sloan on the screen, and look out, Sloan off to the races. 2 Crusaders in pursuit. Can they bring him down? Sloan changes direction and will score. An 86-yard reception for the touchdown on a simple screen play, and he slips through the line and wins the foot race to the end zone. An unbelievable play by Caden Sloan, his 3rd touchdown of this game, as the Cougars continue to pour it on. "34 straight points out of the Dakota offense, as a look to add on a 35th point, as the kick is good. An absolute backbreaker with 1:40 remaining in the first half. 86 yards. The Caden Sloan touchdown changes direction at the last second, as he had 2 LCN defenders back there, and then able to coast his way into the end zone. It is now 35-6. Another drive for LCN, gets into Dakota territory and unable to come up with a 4th down play. They've moved the football. They've only got it into the end zone once. And that's been the difference, as Dakota has finished off drives and have had some big play capabilities here tonight, mainly out of Caden Sloan. 3 touchdowns on the night. Sloan's first receiving touchdown. He's got 7 on the ground, so 8 total now on the season. That ties Stepney for the team lead. All-purpose touchdowns. What a playmaker in the backfield for the Dakota Cougars. Is another angled kick. This one's going to go out of bounds, so we'll have a kickoff infraction, an illegal kick out of bounds. As the Cougars once again try to angle that one through the end zone. So LCN, see how aggressive they want to be here with 1:40 remaining in the second quarter. Begin this possession from the 35-yard line. LCN having to burn that one timeout on the defensive side when they only had 11 defenders on the field. Only have 1 timeout remaining. So they're going to have to work the sidelines. 4 wide receivers set, 3 to Zemansky's left, and that's the way he's looking. Zemansky, they have a receiver out there going up and snaring it out of the air somehow. Another beautiful catch, this time it's Xavion Smith that goes up and gets it. So move the chains. LCN quickly gets to the line of scrimmage. Ball will be spotted at the Dakota 44, so nice pickup there. 21 yards on the reception by Smith. Zemansky barking out the calls. Got to hurry. 1:15 now. Gets into the shotgun as trips to his right. Zemansky will finally snap the ball with 1:09. There's a little slip screen. That was set up perfectly for LCN as Dakota brought all kinds of pressure. And LCN might have hit a big one there. They could not come up with the catch. Looked like Wizdala was the intended receiver there. So bring up a 2nd down and 10, 1:04 left to go, second quarter. Wizdala, the lone setback. 4 wide receiver set once again. Soft coverage on the slot. And they're going to fling one out to the left-hand side, staying on his feet. Petrucci up to the 39. Clock continues to run, ticking down. 50 seconds now left to go. LCN electing not to take their final timeout. And they have to quickly get the snap off. Zemansky, chest high snap. Steps up and going to be driven down on the quarterback sack. Did the ball come loose? It did. Dakota recovers the fumble, a strip sack, turnover. And LCN turns the ball over. That Dakota pressure has been phenomenal all night long. And with 3 timeouts remaining, 30 seconds on the clock, see how aggressive Dakota now wants to be. They won the toss and elected to receive the opening kickoff. So LCN will have the very first possession of the second half. We'll see if that plays into a little bit of the decision making for Coach Bauer. And they're going to air it out. And they're going to fling one to number 14, Robertson, who goes up, catches it, and gets pushed across the finish line. As Clinton Robertson with the touchdown reception. And LCN right now cannot believe it. Big play capabilities out of this Dakota offense has now resulted in 6 straight touchdowns and 42 first half points. As Dakota now leads it 42-6. Dakota looking like a team that's on a mission here tonight. They understand the importance of this football game, needing a victory here tonight to at least get them a step closer to qualifying for the playoffs. 18 straight seasons. Last time Dakota missed was in the year 2000. They've only missed the playoffs 4 times in the school's 23-year history. Really unheard of when this Cougar squad misses and appear to be inching their way a little bit closer. Going to have to keep their fingers crossed, though, as Selection Sunday a couple days away, and they're hoping they have their name called. Offensive explosion here, 42 first half points. As LCN defensively has come up empty. No sort of answer right now for this Cougar offense. And has got the job done first on the ground, but very effective through the air. Borowski has the ball teed up. See if he once again wants to angle this kick. Didn't they have much luck on it last time as he kicked it out of bounds? This time it's a little bit of a more conventional kick. One of the upbacks, Xavion Smith, able to field it and gets it up to the 35. And LCN now with 1 timeout left and 11 seconds up on the big board. Mentioned they will have the very first possession of the second half, down 36 points. We will have a running clock as LCN is down 35 plus points, so we will have a running clock to start out the second half. So see if LCN maybe wants to hit on one big play here before the half to eliminate that running clock. Zemansky across the middle as a receiver on the slant. Touchdown at the 46 of Dakota. That's Xavion Smith once again, and LCN will quickly call a timeout with 4 seconds remaining. Just figure here you'll just fly everybody down the field and perhaps try to hit a Hail Mary play. Throughout the second half, we'll kind of talk a little bit more about the potential for the playoffs. What an answer tonight out of Dakota. Very first possession of the football game. Zach Drosky throws the interception, and that's really been their Achilles heel all season long, has been the turnovers. Drosky, his 10th interception in the season, and LCN marches right down the field, scores a touchdown, and Dakota's got to be thinking, again? They have really answered in the form of 6 straight touchdowns and the 42-6 lead. And LCN now with 5 wide receiver sets. Zemansky gonna move. He's gonna roll out to his left and heave it downfield. Plenty of arm strength to reach the end zone. 2 Cougars there, and they knock it down. It'll be number 17, David McFadden, with the deflection, and that will do it for the first half. All Cougars, as they'll take a 42-6 lead into the halftime break. allow me an opportunity to catch my breath. We'll take a brief time out here on Macomb Township Government Access, but when we come back, the second half will play. You do not want to miss it.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
I'll be right back.
Hi. You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. If you're probably sober, then why would you do that? Good choice.
Probably okay isn't okay. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
That's a full glass of wine. I'll be chatting you later.
Macomb County, 27 cities, townships, and villages. From East Point to Memphis, Romeo to New Baltimore. 458 square miles of where you want to be. It's a place where your children can grow, and so can your business. Macomb County's tree-lined borders contain over 12,000 acres of parkland. Its outer edge, 31 miles of freshwater shoreline, both filled each year with countless concerts, festivals, and family reunions. It's the birthplace of advanced technologies that not only instruct future generations, but protect them. Hey, and those are just facts. You can get that from the internet or a book. No. To truly understand what Macomb County is all about, you need to experience it. You need to live here. You need to work here. When you do that, you'll know you're home.
Welcome back to L'Anse Creuse North High School. Brad Fetters from Macomb Township Government Access, nearly set to go here for the second half of play. Dakota out in front over the L'Anse Creuse North Crusaders, 42-6. As the Cougars have scored the last 42 points of this football game, and will take that 36-point advantage into the second half. So we will have a running clock until LCN is able to trim into that lead. So 35-plus point advantage equals a running clock throughout the second half of play. So LCN going to have to come up with some points in order to stop the clock here in the second half of play. LCN took the early touchdown lead, scoring on their very first possession of this football game after picking off a Zach Drosky pass. They went down the length of the field, scored a touchdown. It was a Justin Zamansky, QB keeper, give them the early 6-0 lead. They missed the extra point. And then it was all the Cougars. As we mentioned, Cougars scoring on their next 6 possessions. As it was Caden Sloan, found the end zone 3 separate times. Uko Umane has a touchdown run. And then a couple of touchdowns for Matt Love and Clinton Robertson. Robertson found the end zone on a terrific pass play right before the halftime break to give the Cougars that 42-6 lead. And you can see the running clock has already started. Zamansky directing traffic now and trying to get everybody set up in place. 4 wide receivers set. Will turn and he will hand off to Kyle Turner. Turner kind of got pushed towards the boundary edge, maybe picked up a yard, and it'll create a second down, 9 to go. Tough season for L'Anse Creuse North. 3-5 record, losers of 3 straight wins, shutout wins over L'Anse Creuse. And we got a fumble on the play. And LCN able to get back and fall on it. 40-0 win over L'Anse Creuse, a 42-0 win over Grosse Pointe North, and a 33-0 win over Warren Cousino. Those are their 3 wins on the season. looking to get the 4 wins, which would match their total from a season ago, and no shot of making the playoffs again this season. It'll be the 3rd straight season now L'Anse Creuse North will fail to qualify for the playoffs. Zamansky, 3-step drop, steps up in the pocket, and is going to get sacked, and they will finally bring him down. Looked like Anthony Allen, one of the captains for Dakota, was in on the tackle along with Carrion Murphy, and now we're going to get a face masking call. So it'll be an inadvertent face mask. It'll only be a 5-yard variety. They will replay the down. So they lost 5 yards on the sack, get it right back on the inadvertent face mask. So it'll bring up a 3rd and 20 with that running clock. So the game of high school football still has the variety of the face mask. You're not automatically hit with a personal foul, and that's kind of been the way the game of football has gone as of late. They just turn everything into a 15-yard personal foul if you touch the face mask. So that penalty going to hurt LCN there, and we'll have another sack in the backfield, and LCN will have to punt the ball away with now 9:45 remaining in the 3rd quarter. So it'll be Matt Love, Caden Sloan once again deep for Dakota, those 2 dangerous return men, and LCN has continued to punt to them. It'll be Sloan once again. We know he's a playmaker as he gets it up and over the 30-yard line, across the 30 to about the 28. So terrific field position once again for the Cougars. The clock just continues to wind down. A very helpless feeling right now for LCN defensively. Not only do they trail by 36 points, but they're watching that clock just continue to tick down. And Dakota really in no hurry to bring their offense out onto the field. Explosive playmaking out of this Cougar offense here tonight. Drosky looks out to his right, looking for a receiver, finds one. Just trying to get it to Darden Davis right on the goal line. And Darden Davis is going to have to leave the football game for at least one play as he lost his football helmet. I've seen that quite a bit out of this Dakota offense. Very first play of a possession, they've gone for the big home run ball, and it's worked a couple times. At least one occasion it's resulted in a touchdown. Caden Sloan checking into the game. Drosky remains in at quarterback. Uko Umane, the tailback. Out of the shotgun, they fake the handoff. Will go out to Sloan, out in the flat. Sloan's going to get brought down by his shoulder pad, but not after picking up considerable yards there. We'll call it a pickup of 15. Just a very simple play as Drosky flung it out into the flats. Winging it out there. Dakota looking to add on to what is already a huge lead, and Drosky finds Darden. Darden Davis inside the 5, down to the 4. Just real simple pass plays. First and goal to go from the 4-yard line. Trevor Duff looking over to the sideline. Duff going to make his way finally over to the sideline. As the Cougars bring in some different personnel on this play. Anthony Allen, one of the captains, wears number 26. He's the running back right now. Out of this wildcat look with Caden Sloan at the quarterback position. Sloan out to the left side, his 4th touchdown of the game. And we're going to have a flag coming out late, as they're going to have to separate some Crusaders and Cougars, and Coach Daly quick to run out onto the field. He doesn't want any of these extracurriculars. More than likely, this will be offsetting unsportsmanlike conduct calls. But we'll see. Do not have the referee mic'd in the game of high school football, but offsetting unsportsmanlike conduct is the call. So the result of the play is a touchdown, which gives the Cougars the 48-6 lead, and they look to add on the extra point. Sporofsky, place kicker for Dakota. Sporofsky will in fact add it. So point after touchdown makes it now 49-6, as it has been the Caden Sloan show for the Dakota Cougars here tonight. 4 touchdowns, including that last scamper out of the wildcat formation, lining him up at the QB position, and just over tackle that time for the 49-6 lead. Offsetting penalties have stopped the clock now with 6:01 remaining. Dakota really owning this series. 14-1 all-time against L'Anse Creuse North, including last season's 55-0 whitewash of LCN. LCN's lone victory coming back in 1996, the very first year Dakota played football. It's been a while since LCN won one in the series, and it appears that Dakota will improve all time to 15-1. Kick going over the goal line for the touchback. We mentioned Dakota trying to get into the playoffs with that 5-4 record if they win here tonight. We talked about that long playoff streak that they currently hold. 18 straight seasons. Last time they missed out was in 2000. And more impressively, I think, besides just the 18 straight that they've made it, they've won at least one playoff game for the last 7 seasons, including last season's 21-17 victory over Romeo in the first round of the playoffs. As there's a nice QB keeper by Zemansky. So they win 21-17 in week 1 of the playoffs last season over the Romeo Bulldogs before losing to eventual Division I state champions Chippewa Valley. And talk about impressive. Chippewa Valley just continues to roll. 8-0 now on the season, perfect 5-0 in MAC Red play. They've outscored their opponents on average by a margin of 22 points this year. 36-14 is their offense and defensive averages, so just blowing teams out. The amount of talent they lost from a season ago, you thought, well, Chippewa Valley was going to have to retool and it was going to be maybe a tough season, but they just continue to win games and just prove that really tradition never graduates. You lose a huge playmaker to graduation like quarterback and tight ends. Lewis going to Michigan State. Credit that coaching staff. They've really turned Chippewa Valley into a perennial power. They struggled against this Dakota team for so many years, but really they've owned that rivalry series as well as of late. And Coach Scott Merchant has got to be thrilled that he stayed at Chippewa Valley now. LCN, Zemansky pulled up on that previous play, kind of looking like he was shaken up. It's going to remain in this football game. He flings one out once again to his reliable receiver, Xavion Smith. Up close to the 50, he'll be marked just short of midfield. Clock continues to run, 3:38 now left to go in the third quarter. You can clearly see that Zemansky is not 100%. Night has really settled in here at L'Anse Creuse North. You can see the temperatures have dropped drastically as players have visible breath coming out from underneath their face masks, and you can see Zemansky's just kind of trying to work out whatever issue he has. Big popping hit on that first down carry will bring up a 2nd down and 6. The line to gain is the 40-yard line. 49-6, Cougars out in front. Zemansky takes his time, takes the chest-high snap, looks to go out, finds a receiver at the 40. It's number 11, Xavion Smith, once again. Smith, back-to-back receptions. Finally pushed out of bounds at the 36, so good enough for a 1st down. They'll move the chains. Clock continues to run. 2:20 now left to go in the third quarter. The wideouts for LCN, making sure they have the right play call. David Gatine and Kyle Turner both coming over to the quarterback, Zemansky, to get clarification. As Turner in the slot, Zemansky's going to look to float one out to number 11, Xavion Smith. Had his man beat. He had David McFadden beat and couldn't haul it in. Off the fingertips. Zemansky airing it out there on 2nd down. Threw an absolute perfect ball, and Xavion Smith watched it bounce off his fingertips. Add insult to injury, the clock continued to run as Xavion Smith was all the way out on the LCN track that time, so took him a while to get back into the formation. Zemansky right to the slot man, Turner this time, and a nice open field tackle by Matt Love. 7's coming together that time, and 7 a little bit unlucky perhaps for LCN as Turner was unable to take that pass upfield and came up about 3 yards short. So the ball spotted at the 29, the line to gains the 26. So we'll call it a 3rd down, 3 to go. Under a minute left to go in the third quarter. Zemansky feels the pressure. Is able to connect this time to Smith. Smith driven down hard. Shoestring tackle made by Caden Sloan. Mr. Do-Everything tonight for the Dakota Cougars. Just enough for the 1st down, however. LCN, hurry up offense. They quickly get to the line of scrimmage. Dakota scrambling to get set defensively. Zemansky surveys the field, looking to get this snap off. He's going to have to hurry. Flings one out to the flat once again, and Kyle Turner had difficulties hauling that one in and eventually came up with it, but only picked up a yard before being tackled, and that will do it. 3 quarters in the books. LCN's lone possession was a punt. Dakota turned it into points. And after 3 quarters of play, they lead it 49-6. One final break here on Macomb Township Government Access. But when we come back, the 4th and final quarter of play.
It's another fall Friday night, and your kids should be
playing high school football.
It's a fun game, and it's safer than ever.
It's safe because the rules, the coaching, and the equipment are better than ever before.
As a result, serious injuries are at an all-time low. Seriously.
And builds
strong schools, lifetime memories, and tomorrow's community leaders. And it's mother approved.
It's a great game, and we want to teach it to your kids.
We are back, 4th quarter of play, 12 minutes up on the big board here at L'Anse Creuse North. Crusaders on the move, driving with the football. They trail the Dakota Cougars 49-6. So as we mentioned in the 3rd quarter of play, or if you're just tuning in, we'll have a running clock throughout this 4th quarter of play unless LCN can trim this Dakota lead down under 35 points. Zemansky looking to go deep, looking for the end zone. Smith incomplete. Szymanski, we talked about, took a shot in that 3rd quarter of play and came up and was really hobbled, but is going to continue to play and gut this one out. He's a senior playing on his home field for the last time, and now he's kind of motioning towards that home sideline like he didn't like the play that got called. So he calls out the audible. 4 wide receivers set, 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Zemansky looking to the right, looking across the middle and over the head of Kyle Turner. Zemansky once again blown up, huge hit, and he stayed down a little bit longer on that play and finally springs up. And once again, LCN has a 4th down deep in Dakota territory. It's kind of been seemingly the storyline throughout this football game. LCN has driven the football. They've got it on the Dakota side of the 50, but just have not been able to come up with the big plays when needed, especially on 4th down. They turned the ball over on downs twice in this game. Dakota pressing off. Zemansky gonna have to hurry. He barely got that play off. Zemansky flushed out of the pocket. He fumbles the football, jumps on it, still loose, and it will be recovered by Dakota at the 24-yard line. So the 2nd time Zemansky has fumbled the football. The turnover will give the ball back to the Cougars. Really didn't matter either way. It was gonna be either a turnover on downs or the fumble. They will say it was recovered by the Cougars at the 24-yard line. So Zemansky coming down to the home sidelines in visible pain. He gutted this one out. He did everything he could to stay in it and give his Crusaders a shot, but there's too much Cougars here tonight. 9.5 left to go in regulation. Drosky remaining in at quarterback. He's going to hand off this time and nowhere to go. Handoff went to number 38, Kevin Carragay. So snoozetoyou.com, which is, believe it or not, the kind of experts in terms of path to the playoffs and seedings and that sort of thing for the MHSAA, has Dakota getting in with a win tonight. And it has them playing in Region 4 District 1, taking on a familiar foe in the Romeo Bulldogs in the 1st round, with Utica Eisenhower and Rochester Stony Creek on the other half of that district. So Dakota versus Romeo awaiting the victor of Eisenhower Stony Creek is how snooze2u.com has that district playing off. And then the other side of that region, which would once again is Region 4 District 1, and these are all hypotheticals, would be Chippewa Valley versus Cass Tech, which would be an unbelievable first-round matchup. Chippewa Valley, as we mentioned, going to be the #1 overall seed in the entire playoffs. They clearly have the most playoff points as that 8-0 undefeated team taking on a Cass Tech team right now that's 4-4, and it's kind of in the same position as Dakota is. We get a timeout on the field. So the hypothetical matchup in the first round between Chippewa Valley and Cass Tech, and then the other side of that district, they have Grosse Pointe South, who is the Mac White Division champions, taking on Warrenmont. Grosse Pointe South obviously beat in the regular season. Really, realistically, we talked about in our preview show, Macomb Township Government Access, that really the only team that really was going to give Grosse Pointe a shot within the Mac White could potentially be a Warrenmont team, and Grosse Pointe South went out and blew out Warrenmont in the regular season. So a lot of people on that Dakota sideline probably taking a look at what's going on in the Warrenmont game. High snap, Drosky has to fall on it all the way back at about the 5-yard line. So Dakota will have to punt the ball away, approaching the 7-minute mark left to go in regulation. Dakota up 49-6. Always kind of fun to speculate and see what's going to happen. Obviously, you have 256 qualifying schools that get in, and then they take everybody based on enrollment size, and you place the 32 largest schools all in Division I. The next 32 would go down to Division II, et cetera, until all 8 divisions have 32 teams in the bracket. And now we're going to get a delay of game penalty against the Cougars. Yeah, there's going to be no surprise in where Dakota goes, the largest school in the entire state of Michigan. They will play out of Division I. So now it's going to be wait and see. More than likely, one would think the Cougars will get in. So they just need teams to fill out the 8 divisions. Kick is short, takes a LCN bounce short of the 30. We got a late flag came in from the back judge. So the penalty will stop the clock momentarily with 6:21 remaining. So you have holding against Dakota. Well, head referee pointed the wrong way. The holding call against L'Anse Creuse North will back this football up. So LCN will take it over at the 48. Zamansky hits his receiver in stride. That's Turner. It's taken out for going out of bounds. Pickup of 9 yards on first down brings up a second down and short. 5:50 left to go in the fourth quarter. Dakota on cruise control since falling down early 6-0, have scored 49 straight points and lead it. Szymanski once again airing it out, looking to go deep. And a little bit of a hand battle there between Kyle Turner and his defender, Jackson Wilkin. The defender out there for the Cougars. Bring up a 2nd down and 10 after they gave LCN enough for the 1st down on the previous play. Szymanski locks in on a receiver and floats one over the head. A little bit of miscommunication. David Gattin broke off the route early, came back for the football. Szymanski thought he was going to continue to run towards the end zone, so a little miscommunication that time between quarterback and wide receiver results in an incomplete pass. And it'll bring up a 3rd down and 10. 4.5 now left to go in regulation. Line to gain is the Dakota 27. Going across the middle this time. Hooking up with Guizdala, stays on his feet. Rolls down finally at the 15. 1st down, pick up a 22. Nice play by Julian Guizdala, the senior. Move the chains. LCN can pick up one more 1st down without scoring a touchdown. The ball is marked at the 15. They're going to hand off this time to Guizdala. Picks up a couple, nothing more. Nick Boutine with the tackle. Guizdala picked up 4. He'll bring up a 2nd down, 6 to go for the Crusaders. Guizdala remains in at the tailback position, slams on the brakes and gets swallowed up in the backfield. Jesse Woodman, 6 foot, 230-pound defensive lineman, making the tackle. 3rd down, 5 to go from the 10. As we mentioned, can still pick up a 1st down without scoring a touchdown. The line to gain is the 5. Szymanski in the shotgun as Guizdala directly to his right. Looking to air it out once again, in and off the hands of Anthony Petrucci. And once again, it'll bring up a 4th down. This has been deja vu all night for LCN offensively. They've gotten themselves in Dakota territory. This time it's in the Dakota red zone. Just have been unable to come up with any sort of play on 4th down. So 2 minutes left to go. Szymanski has a receiver open, connects with them, David Gattin, and nope, he's going to drop it. Say the pass is incomplete. And Dakota more than likely will just take a couple knees and will look forward to Selection Sunday as they hope to have their name called and speculate who your 1st round opponent might be. Could be Romeo, could have a rematch of last year's 1st round game. Mentioned Dakota won it last year. So Dakota will finally take the football field with 1:10 left and will more than likely take a couple knees and head into the warmth of the locker room. A cool, downright cold autumn night here in southeast Michigan. If you missed any portion of this broadcast, you can check us out online, macomb-mi.gov. Video on demand on our YouTube channel where you can subscribe Macomb Township Government Access to get notifications of when all of our programming is available online. And this Dakota team a couple times. We had this LCN squad in action a few times as well. All of our programming is archived on the YouTube channel. If you want to look back at some of those previous broadcasts, you can. And I'd like to thank our viewers tuning in all season long. The last broadcast of the fall season is we'll take a little bit of a break, but gear up for what should be another outstanding season of MAC Red basketball. These two teams will compete out of the MAC Red, and we'll have plenty of action for you in the winter. Final score here tonight, all Dakota Cougars as they take care of business 49-6 and can look forward potentially to a first round playoff matchup next week. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank my two cameramen here tonight, James Drum and Jason Burnt. I'm Brad Fetters from Macomb Township Government Access, thanking all of you for watching. Once again, final score from L'Anse Creuse North High School, Dakota Cougars 49, LCN 6. Thank you so much for watching all fall season long. See you later.